We have arrived at chapter 14. This will be my final lecture for the course. I'm going to let you independently review chapter 15 and 16. It's actually, if you'll look at the final week, it'll be an extra credit discussion board or discussion forum. So let's jump into the urinary system. The urinary system, what does it do? Oh my goodness, it balances our it can help balance electrolytes, our different bodily fluids, our pressure, blood pressure, maintains homeostasis. So let's take a peek through this chapter. The kidneys are the organs that form urine. In addition to metabolic waste, urine contains water, ions. Its formation it regulates the blood volume and composition. There are some terms there. You guys can review that. Kidney location and structure. So the kidneys are kind of tucked behind our uh, digestive tract, right? Like we just studied this in chapter 13, this same parts of the body. So it's all there in our middle section of our body. Nephrons. Nephrons are what produces or helps produce urine, I should say. Let me find, give me just a second. Kidneys, yes, yes. Okay, so okay, so the nephrons are the kidneys' functional units. Yes, they they're responsible for producing urine. I just want to make sure I said that right. Tubular begins with cup-shaped glomerular capsule, part of the nephron's blood-filling device. There you go. And then it dumps. So there's blood supply to the kidney. Yes, absolutely. Urine formation. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. As blood flows through the glomerulus, blood pressure forces materials through the glomerular wall and through the wall of the capsule into the nephron. Then fluid enters into the nephron. There we go. Focus on words that serve double duty. You can read all about that. This is very anatomy right here. This is not medical terminology for my sake. So please don't feel like you have to memorize that. So many great anatomy pictures, by the way. Diuretic is a substance that produces urinary output or diuresis. We have some natural hormones in our body that can try to prevent that. It also depends on like our sodium and electrolyte balance. If we retain fluid, let go of fluid. Some things can come down to the kidneys too. Transport and removal of the urine. So we have one single urethra, but each kidney has a ureter that drops down into the bladder. Oh, here's some terminology. So that antidiuretic hormone, angiotensin, calyx, diuresis, diuretic, erythropoietin. All right. For sake of time, I'm not going to read these. I'm trying my best to keep this under 10 minutes. Root words: reno, nephro, glomerulo, pile, like renal pelvis, pile, pylectasis, calico. Exercises, more root words. Let me see what this next page brings, because here we go. We got to talk about the clinical aspects of the urinary system. Infections can occur very easily in the urinary system. Think about it. The male genitalia, there's an opening, and then the female, there's also an opening. We have a little bit more protection, but there's lots of things that happen down there in the bottom, and so infections are very, very common. You can definitely get nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, renal failure. This is so common that it's actually covered by Medicaid, Medicare and there's medical benefits like social security benefits, disability benefits for people with renal failure because if your kidneys fail in any way, you have to get hemodialysis. You have to do things that completely change your life. Um, I don't know many people who have hemodialysis that can work full-time jobs and maintain a normal if you will, lifestyle. Now, these people, many of them have great lives. That's not what I'm saying. But renal failure can really change how you live your life. So read all about that. Here's, I mentioned earlier, sodium and potassium causes and consequences of the imbalance. Read all about that. You do not have to, oh, this is a great dialysis visual here. You do not have to know about peritoneal dialysis for my class. That's a little, that's very specific. Like if you were going to become a hemodialysis technician, you would learn that there. Urinary stones, kidney stones, calculi, calculus, caused by many things. A lot of them initially can be caused by sodas, excessive alcohol, too much eating something too much or not enough, and cancers of the kidneys and the urethra, the bladder is very common because it's a system that sees a lot of waste, right? So just be careful what we put in our bodies. Urinalysis is a study of urine. This can tell you if there is bacteria, what type of bacteria, specific gravity is measured, pH, all the things. More terminology. What is that? What are we looking at? Horseshoe kidney photograph shows the kidneys are fused. Oh, okay, that's cool. So here's some male genitalia. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, what do we have here? Polycystic disease. Okay. Da-da, da-da. Okay, more terminology, a case study. Is that it? That's it. Look at me. Less than 7 minutes. Okay, so I probably forgot to tell you something. As you review the chapter, please reach out and let me know if you have any questions. I am here. I did skim that one pretty quickly. And like I said, I'm not going to do lectures for chapter 15 and 16. You guys can choose to read both chapters, choose to read a chapter that you want to read. It's totally up to you. I hope you guys have learned so much this semester. I certainly have enjoyed presenting or facilitating this class to you. Again, outreach me as we finish up the semester. Thanks.